It's time for the Brian Kelly Radio Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House in Eddy Street Commons. The Brian Kelly Radio Show is presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame members Coca-Cola, Sprint, Gatorade, and Under Armour. The Brian Kelly Radio Show is also sponsored by ATI Physical Therapy, Auto Value Parts Store, Bank of America, Xfinity, Great Clips, Papa John's, St. Joseph Regional Medical Center, South Bend Orthopedics, and O'Rourke's Public House. Tonight's show is also sponsored by Papa Vito's, Legacy Heating and Air, and Burger King. Now, let's go live to O'Rourke's Public House for the Brian Kelly Radio Show. Here's your host, Jack Nolan.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a packed O'Rourke's Public House for the final Brian Kelly Radio Show of the year. I'm Jack Nolan, joined as always by the head coach of the Fighting Irish. You guys have hit a little bit of a rough patch. I want to remind everybody, this season started with tremendous highs. That's what every season has a tendency to do. How'd your team bounce back, though, this week?
We had a good week, and I think any football team is going to have to experience some of the ups and downs of a long season, and we're in one of those rough spots that nobody wants to go through. But our kids understand that they've got to play better on Saturday, but they've prepared very well all year. They have, and their work ethic. I said, listen, you can control two things, and that is your effort and your attitude. And their effort this week was great. Their attitude was great. And now we just, obviously everybody here in this building knows what we have to do better on Saturdays. And we got to coach better and we got to play better. Everybody
who listens to this show and comes every week, they understand Notre Dame football and what it's all about. But I thought one of the media members engaged you in an interesting discussion in your Tuesday press conference about the fine line at Notre Dame every year between winning and losing. 2 years ago, you're 12-0 in the regular season. A lot of close games.
Yep.
This year, you're very close right now. You really are. This is not blue and gold colored glasses to being 9-1. But this year, you haven't gotten the breaks, and you've had a lot of injuries and personnel losses. That would be hard for any team to come back.
Yeah, I think every year, we go into the season that we can beat anybody that we play, and we certainly can lose to anybody. And it's a fine line each and every week for us. An overtime loss, a very difficult loss at Florida State to 4 points, and then, obviously, the play at Arizona State wasn't up to par, but our kids rallied to 34-31 with 4 minutes to go in the game. So, we're going to have a chance to win every game we play. We know what we need to do, and that is not give up the big plays on defense and not turn over the daggone ball. And if we can find a way, if somebody can figure out how we can put Velcro on that darn thing, we sure would like to do that.
You joked as you sat down, and you're right. You have to spend a lot of time with me each and every week. But fortunately, we don't have to do this show right as you walk off the field after a tough loss. I mean, and I always admire and I always want people to think, if you just lost your big contract or you had just gotten fired and then we put you in a room in front of 50 people and said, okay, answer questions. What did you do on page 3 and why did you lose the job? Whenever you've talked with me, you have always made it clear that, the players have made mistakes, but it's on the coaching staff too. We made mistakes as well, and that's been since the time you got here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we can always coach better. We always can put our players in better positions. And, when you go back and you look at I think we had 80-something plays, you always want to put your kids in the best position to be successful. So, we've got work to do. Our players have work to do. It's never one person. We win together, we lose together, and that's how we've done it here. And that's why when we win on Saturday, we'll win 18 out of the last 20 home games. And we've won a lot of football games, and we're going to, obviously feel like as long as we take care of the things that we're supposed to take care of, we're going to win on Saturday.
I heard you use a phrase once, intoxicated with success.
Yeah.
We should never take success granted. That is a pretty good record at home, and that record wasn't like that when you got here.
No, and again, I think it's the continuity and consistency is what we're looking for. And getting a win on Saturday would be 5 consecutive years that we win for our seniors, and it's big. It's a senior. It's seniors' last home game, and that's an important event at Notre Dame for our seniors. So our players know that, and they want to certainly go out on a good foot.
Well, and at the risk of you slugging me, if Notre Dame can win on Saturday, Coach Kelly will be the first coach since Terry Brennan to win his first 5 senior day games. So it is not easy even here at Notre Dame. And I know it's a special day for you because there are 3 fifth-year guys. All the seniors are special to you, but there are 3 fifth-year guys who will take the field for the final time Saturday that I know mean a great deal to you.
Yeah, Justin Utupo, Christian Lombard, and Austin Collinsworth. Those are the first 3 guys that came in with me. And all of them play a significant role and a different role. Austin Collinsworth, as you know, is a captain for us. Christian Lombard has been a starter for us on the offensive line, was part of our 12-0 team, and now he's starting at right tackle for us, has overcome a lot in terms of injuries. And then Justin Utupo has just been incredible in terms of, great in the locker room, great with the players, great amongst the players as well, and now has been, as a fifth-year senior, has waited for his opportunity, and now he's helping our football team win. So three really great guys that have meant a lot to me.
We have a lot of questions from the fans here. We're going to get to them right after the break. But before we get to the break, I do want to talk a little bit about a moment after practice on Tuesday, a hard practice, and you laid out what the guys needed to do at the end of practice. But then the mood shifted a little bit because Kyle McCarthy stepped in front of the team and made an announcement. Yeah,
as everybody knows, Kyle McCarthy has been through a tough battle this year with cancer. And, Notre Dame captain who came back to Notre Dame as a graduate assistant this year. And then, obviously, battled through these chemo treatments and radiation and, never once blinked. And 2 weeks ago had surgery again to hopefully eradicate it. And on Tuesday announced to us that he's cancer-free. So great news for Kyle. And just he's been inspirational in terms of the way, that word, people talk about it all the time, and many of the families that are here tonight, many of the people here have somebody that's been touched by cancer, and so many have. But what's unique about Kyle is that, he loves Notre Dame, obviously a captain here, played for Notre Dame, but he loves what Notre Dame football stands for in the student athletes, and because he was one. And after his chemo treatments, he would come to practice every day. Did not miss a practice after a chemo
right
treatment.
from chemo to practice.
Yeah. And so everybody lives in their own world, right? And I think everybody knows that through chemo, most people lose their hair. Well, of course, he lost his hair, his eyebrows. He lost everything. And what was interesting about it was that just last week that one of our players, Niles Morgan, went up to him and said that he really liked Kyle's new haircut that he got. Talk about a guy that, he didn't even know he was going through chemo treatment. Niles was so busy trying to get in the curl and trying to get the front lined up right.
Well,
so,
focusing and stepping in for Joe Schmidt.
Yeah.
He was focused.
Yeah. So, everybody lives in their own world, but Kyle was living in the real world, and so we're happy for him.
Great news. We'll be back with our audience questions for Coach Kelly right after this timeout on the Brian Kelly Radio Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House. Welcome back to the Brian Kelly Radio Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House. As you can tell, another full house here tonight. Lots of questions. Chris Caparelli's here from Edwardsburg, Michigan. Coach, after 4 tough games, what are you as a coaching staff doing to pull your players back up and finish the season looking as good as you did at the start of the season?
Well, I really think it's simple. We've lost some key players, so, at times you're always going to have to change some things up. And I think, for us defensively, we've got some new players and some new positions, and, we're trying to do the best we can there. Sheldon Day, obviously a very good player, but we've got some young guys that'll step in and we'll move some guys around. And I think they'll do a nice job for us. And I think from an offensive standpoint, I think it's just really we've been very effective, but we've been, shooting ourselves in the foot. We've actually been, over the last 4 games, we've had, I think we've had 2 200-yard rushing performances and 2 300 or more passing performances, but we've had 9 turnovers in 2 games. So I think it's pretty clear that, offensively to get back to where we want to be is that we have to take care of the football, which I think we all know that. And then defensively, I think we really have to do a good job against the run. And if we could, do a better job and get back to stopping the run like we did earlier in the year, I think we'll be in good shape.
Nothing gets by a dire Notre Dame fan. This fan wants to know what you picked up from talking with Stephon Tuitt at practice today.
What did I get
what
from
did you
picking
get
up? That it's a little colder in Pittsburgh than it is here in South Bend.
We'll ask the players that, too.
Yeah, he was complaining about that. I also picked up that he's much taller. I was looking over. He was standing at the gate of LeBar, and we were in our stretch lines, and I looked over, and I saw Tuitt standing next to some real short fella. And I looked over, and the short fella was Sheldon Day. Said, who's that short guy? And it was actually Sheldon Day. That's how big Tuitt is.
Monster.
Yeah.
Chuck Sossman's here, as he always is, from Granger. Good question. Status of the defensive line and the safeties. And you had to make a difficult decision to activate one of the most talented young men on your team.
Yeah, Jay Hayes, he's going to be our 9th freshman that we're going to play this year. And it's never easy to play a kid, with only 2 games and then a bowl game. But we felt like we'll be able to get him enough work over the next 3 games and then with bowl preparation that it will benefit him in the long run. And then secondly, that he can help our football team. So, again, those are things that take a great deal of thought, and we have to weigh a lot of different options when we look at things like that. They're never easy decisions. But, right now, our defensive line that we recruited, if they were all still here, along with the guys that we have that are sitting over here that still have eligibility that are not here, are guys like Aaron Lynch, Stephon Tuitt, Lewis Nix. All those guys still have eligibility at Notre Dame, and we all know they're not here either. So sometimes you got to live in the present, and sometimes that makes you make some tough decisions.
And you had to make the decisions on who would start and who would be rotations in the safety position, and you did that this week as well.
Yeah, again, not an easy decision, but we felt like, Austin Collinsworth back there obviously gives us a senior with a lot of knowledge. Drew Tranquil is a very, instinctive player, and we're gonna go with those 2 guys. Either Hardy's going to give us some work, and certainly Max Redfield. All 4 of those guys will be in the rotation on the defensive backfield.
And the questions tonight, almost like a press conference. Mike Gates follows up on the defensive line. He's from Concord, Ohio. He'd like to know what the rotation will be on the defensive line this week.
Well, Justin Utupo will fill in and get a lot of the work in there. And obviously you're going to see some of our young guys, and you'll see some of them tonight. They'll have to play a lot more, and we'll have to get a lot more from Jerron Jones, and we're going to have to get a lot more from Isaac Rochelle. Those are 2 of our sophomore veterans now. Those guys are veteran players for us, and they're going to have to play a lot more football for us. And Matusik is going to have to play a lot more for us. So we've got some guys now that are going to have to step in and play a lot more football.
Jerry Liss is here from South Bend, Coach. To protect.
Said Matusik. That's the old Raiders.
You've done that. It would be nice if we could somehow instantly create a Matusik.
Yeah, that's not who we want. Yeah,
well,
he's too old.
Not his personality.
Yeah, he's too old.
But somebody young and that athletic. Jerry Liss is here from South Bend. To protect Golson, would you consider a 2-back set?
Yeah, if the 2 backs were, 235 pounds, and we don't, obviously having 2 backs doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to protect any better, and we're not really. We don't feel like the protection is really an issue for us as much as, just, reading coverages, getting the ball out of your hands on time. That really, if you look at any of our turnovers, that really hasn't been a prime concern for us.
Bill's here from Granger, Coach. What do you do to restore a player's confidence, such as restoring Kyle Brinz's confidence this week?
Well, I think he'll be fine. I think he went through a very unique situation where, he's somebody that handles all of our duties and, punting, kicking, obviously, a tough day for him. But, you know, he's a senior, and I think he's going to have a great Saturday. I think he had a great week. We were outside today in some blustery conditions and cold, and he kicked the ball as well as he's ever kicked it. So I'm very confident that he'll have a great day for us Saturday.
And you were able to get out today for about an hour.
Yeah, we got out for about an hour and got a lot of our special teams work done, got some 2-minute in, some 7-on-7, threw the ball around, and, you know, it was tough conditions, obviously, during the week, but, you know, we're able to get some work done.
And I was in the stadium earlier today. It's not going to snow much, and we might get a dusting tonight, but the field's in good shape.
Yes.
And the stands also are in good shape if you went last week. They've gotten all the stuff out of there, so you should enjoy it on Saturday.
Yeah, I think the conditions are going to be a lot better than they were last week, for sure.
We talk a lot about being a student athlete at Notre Dame. You all know it's very, very important. And tonight we're going to kind of use this show a little bit to help Grant Blankenship, who's a freshman defensive lineman from the Colony, Texas. We're going to have him come up here, sit over here next to Coach and I. And he's got a little project, and he's going to be able to fulfill part of it here by going on the air. You can put on your headset there. Coach, talk a little bit about what this is involved with.
Well, Grant has a project for his class, and it is to help promote and to make people aware of different health concerns throughout the country. And you know, Grant is a good student, and we wanted to make him a great student by helping him maybe get an A in this class. So by coming on my show and him being able to use this as a public service announcement, maybe his professor would see this as an incredible opportunity to really hit home on this subject and maybe see that we could get Grant an A in this class. So we thought this would be a great place to put that together. So Grant, you're up. Good luck with the A.
Okay. Natural tropical diseases, otherwise known as NTDs, are negatively impacting quality of life in Africa. Affected families aspire for health and togetherness, but NTDs stop this. Although Americans generally attribute NTD infections to the result of poverty, such as unsafe water, poor housing conditions, and insufficient sanitation, fighting poverty is not the answer. Fighting poverty seems to be the logical option to attack the NTDs. But what affected families actually need is the transportation of life-saving drugs that are capable of stopping these thriving diseases. Poverty will not be stopped in the foreseeable future. But if every person in the stadium Saturday donates 50 cents to stop NTDs, we will have enough health support for 81,000 victims of NTDs for 1 year. I, Grant Blankenship, am asking you to take steps with me to end NTDs. For Americans not to support the transportation of these life-saving drugs, it is not playing like a champion. Visit www.n7.org to put an end to the 7 NTDs by 2020.
All right.
Isn't that an A? Would that not be an A?
Have you ever been on live broadcast
No, I've
before?
not.
See, I can tell. Because he's
I am
sweating more
sweating,
now
Jesus
than he
Christ.
does.
No, you can't use that
practice.
word here at Notre Dame.
Sorry.
Our Lady.
All right.
Our Lady.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great job, Grant.
All right.
Go have something to eat.
Next year will be easier. He didn't have to answer my questions. Folks, that actually, look at this. This place is packed. And if you've never done this, I've been doing it forever. Coach is a natural coach of the year, but this really isn't easy. Everett Golson said he'd rather face a blitz every day than do press conferences. And he's gotten good at it. So Grant did a nice job there. We'll be back with some more student athletes, so I know you're going to want to meet right after this timeout on the Brian Kelly Radio Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House. From O'Rourke's Public House, and we have a starting defensive line here. We could blitz everybody in the building right now. Please welcome Romeo Aquara, Sharon Jones, Isaac Rochelle, and Justin Utupo. Now, Justin's the old guy in the bunch. He's the fifth-year senior, and they made him sit all the way down at the end. They don't understand respecting your elders, but Coach Kelly said you embody why he likes fifth-year guys. You're going to start again this weekend. You started against Navy. You've had 15 tackles this season. You've intercepted a pass. You even returned a kick against Northwestern, which I know your teammates love that. Did you expect to contribute this much on the field? Because I know you were brought back because you were a good player and you were going to be a great leader in the locker room, but they really needed you this year.
My expectations coming into this year was to help out the locker room and continue to build our winning culture. And it just so happened that I, got a chance to play this year, and I did what I could with that chance.
Now, is it true that growing up you actually rooted for USC?
Yes, actually, I'm from Southern California, so everyone there loves USC. So.
But not anymore, right?
No.
But tell me about your first visit here. The flight was a little longer than you expected.
I actually didn't even know Notre Dame was in South Bend, Indiana. I actually thought it was in Northern California. It wasn't until I read my boarding pass that I realized that I wasn't going up north. I was coming to the Midwest.
Well, we're glad you came.
I'm glad too.
Now, Isaac, you're sitting next to Romeo, and I know for you, as really the young guy in this group, it's important for you to win this game, for the players to win this game, because you want to send these guys out in the right note.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you've got guys like Justin in the locker room, and they're leaders, and they're also guys. They're like big bros to us. And, I mean, you form that relationship, and you want to win for them, and that's kind of why we do what we do and why we grind, so we can win for guys like Justin.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, bro, for sure.
Isaac wears number 90. You've seen him make some big plays this year. He has 6.5 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks. He's broken up 3 passes. And as a young guy, talk about, because really Joe Schmidt, deservedly so, got a lot of publicity, but you've lost the 3 leaders for extensive period of times at all 3 levels of defense. You lost Austin Collinsworth to begin the year. He's now back. Then you lost Joe Schmidt. Now you've lost Sheldon Day. What's it been like to lose the older guys, and how much do you guys have to focus when you have lost a guy that kind of just is running at a little higher speed because of experience?
Yeah. Well, first off, I don't know that we've necessarily lost them. There's still a huge presence on the team. So I don't know. The biggest thing for us is just we keep moving forward, and we've always had kind of like a next man in mentality. So everybody's doing a really good job of responding. And then, like we were talking about earlier, Justin and guys like that do a really good job of kind of filling roles. And but I don't know. It's hard to just say that we've lost them because they're still playing a huge role in our team.
Now, Jerron here, number 94, is he's the one guy that wasn't surprised by lake effect snow because he's from Rochester.
Hey.
And he's probably, I mean, here, right now the weather's better here, I think, than it is in Rochester.
Hey, where you at?
Got some Rochester guys in the back. Now, you had a lot of Syracuse ties.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like to stay close to home. But for you, that was just a little too close to home.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
My mother.
So mom would have been on campus a lot?
I just didn't want to take any unexpected visits, you know. And then, you know, I wanted to grow on my own. So that's the reason I chose to come here, because she gave me a 10-hour radius.
A 10-hour radius.
A 10-hour radius.
So she can get here for games, but she can't show up like on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
All right.
I had to choose the farthest place.
I know you like to have fun, and some people, when we ask the questions in the next segment, say you're one of the best dancers. I know you think you're a good dancer because you decided you would display that at the North Carolina pep rally. You just couldn't control yourself.
That was all I was doing was clapping. I wasn't dancing.
Okay, all right. It looked like he was. So that was, you clap more enthusiastically than most people that I've seen.
Oh yeah. Easy.
Romeo, junior defensive line from Charlotte. You are tied for the team lead in sacks with 3.5 with Matthias Farley. I don't know if he gives you a hard time about that or if you do as a defensive back. But talk about your development to the point now you can make so many plays and how your role has expanded here.
Yeah, this year my role has grown tremendously from last year. I'm a starter now, and it's been great working through the defense, learning the new defense throughout the entire summer and from spring ball with the new coach. And it's been a great process, and it's great to see how we've been developing as a team.
Now, you're enrolled in the Mendoza College of Business, as everybody knows, the #1 undergraduate business school in the country. Now, usually they say you're an accounting major, but in Mendoza, it's majoring in accountancy. So what is involved in studying accountancy?
A lot of hard work. Yeah, it's a lot of work every night. I'm up doing at least 4 to 5 hours of work after practice, so it's not easy, but got to get it done.
And this is something, again, a lot of schools try to get you guys not to do that, but I know here everybody embraces that. They know you have that workload, and they push you to do well both on and off the field.
Yeah, it's really fun. I like taking on the challenge. I think it's great to be able to have that college that has a great academic background, and they push you to be the best you can.
You know, and it's something that we don't talk about a lot, but we probably should. Notre Dame's got a great athletic academic advising program. Talk about how much that's helped you. Certainly, if they let you do the Mendoza thing, you've got your stuff together. But how did that help you make that transition?
Yeah, absolutely. Adam Sargent, our academic advisor, has done a great job of helping me throughout the way in the College of Business, and he's done a great job.
It's no surprise, 4 really well-spoken young men, so you know they're going to be really entertaining when we do our 2-minute drill coming up next. Brian Kelly Radio Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House. All right, I think we're in for a treat, folks, because these guys are the most fired up of any of the groups we've had about doing this. So, Romeo, you start. Favorite all-time movie?
Interstellar.
Okay. Do we have any rebuttals?
It was a great movie.
Wolf of Wall Street.
All right. I haven't seen that one yet. Favorite TV show, Jerron?
Sports Center.
Oh, no.
How many people here would agree with Jerron there? I think a lot of people here like Sports Center.
Nobody.
Isaac, favorite breakfast meal?
Definitely an omelet.
All right. Justin, favorite food to eat for dinner?
I just love Chinese food. I love rice.
Ooh, right. Food.
I like Chinese food. I mean, this locker room's got to be really entertaining some days, Coach. Romeo, get up early or sleep in?
Sleep in. Easy.
Are any get up earlys on this panel?
No, we sleep in.
Good for you.
Sure.
I'm a sleep in too. All right, Jerron, you get to start with this. Best nickname on the team, and who has it?
Matuzak. Jacob Matuzak.
You guys all agree on that one, right?
Sure, yeah.
I like Jalen Smith. We call him Smooth.
Smooth. He likes it too.
Yeah.
Because on the last show he said he had the best nickname.
Oh, okay.
He'll be happy with that. All right, Isaac. Place anywhere in the world you would like to visit.
Ooh.
McDonough.
Yeah, I'm going back to McDonough. I'm going back home.
Oh.
I'm leaving these winters. Going back to the MAC.
Hey, 30 years ago, I'm old now. When Holtz was here, there was no indoor facility. You practiced outside in this every day.
Yeah, that would be tough.
That made him tougher. All right. Justin, favorite place for you on campus?
The Grotto.
Okay.
Good answer.
Romeo, favorite sport to play other than football?
Soccer.
All right. I bet you're a heck of a soccer
Hockey.
player.
Lacrosse.
Hockey and lacrosse. Have you ever played either one? Probably played lacrosse.
Yeah, a little bit.
Have you ever played hockey?
No, I can't skate.
Then it'd be hard to play hockey.
Wow.
No,
Okay. This is for the whole panel. Now, we've got a West Coast guy, we've got 2 Southern guys, and we've got a Northern guy. So I'm expecting a bunch of different answers. Are there any good things about snow?
Yes.
The Northern guy. What are the good things?
You get off from school.
Anybody else have anything good to say about snow?
No, I have nothing good about snow.
All right, gentlemen, one thing you always hear from Coach Van Gorder in practice.
You're just a young player.
I was about to say that.
Who's that?
That's good.
Nobody.
As defensive linemen, what do you think of the new turf in Notre Dame Stadium?
I love it.
I love it.
I love it. No one loves it like I
No one
love
loves
it.
it
No one loves it like I love it.
No one loves it like I love it.
Well, that's unanimous. Assistant coach. Now, this is the one you were getting worried. This is the pressure question. Assistant coach who's most like Coach Kelly.
Denbrock. I call it Denbrock.
Oh, yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good one,
yeah,
bro.
that's
That's a really
actually-
good
that's a
one.
good
Justin, did you whisper Chad?
Yeah, I whispered
Chad Clunder. All right. The minister. For you guys, which is better, a sack or an interception?
Sack.
Interception.
Interception.
Sack.
Interception
Interception.
because I had one and it was great.
For a head coach, what's better for a D lineman, a sack or an interception?
Get them all.
I did like the best dance when I had an interception in high school. So it was like the best.
No one
You
asked.
can't
bro.
dance.
Yeah, I can. I can kill the whip.
Stop. Turn his mic off. Turn his
Hardest hitter on the team.
mic- Oh.
Who's
Elijah.
Yeah, I would say shoemate.
Yeah, shoemate.
Drew's up there, though. Drew's up there.
Drew.
All right, that's good.
Tranquil.
Yeah. Our safeties, they all hit hard.
Toughest player to tackle on the team.
Tyler, play it.
It's true. It's true. That's a good one.
Especially if he's holding a block of wood.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, did you watch Wednesday's practice where I looped outside and he knocked the crap out of me?
No. I saw
It
when
was
Romeo
bad.
got
That's
knocked out.
embarrassing.
Like Coach calls him pit bull.
Yeah.
And I think deservedly so. All right, best singer on the team.
Corey Robinson.
Corey Robinson.
Best
Jerron Jones.
Okay.
Jerron.
Best dancer on the team.
Torrey Hunter.
Amir Carlisle.
All right. Best comedian on the team.
Jerron thinks it's him.
No, I was going to say Chase.
Okay,
It
yeah,
is
yeah,
Chase.
definitely
It is
Chase.
Chase.
Yeah.
I was going to say Chase.
Definitely Chase.
Best comedian on the coaching staff.
Coach Van Gorder.
Van Gorder.
Really?
He doesn't even know it, too.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
not,
he
he
doesn't
doesn't try to.
I think he's too busy watching tape to watch this show.
Longo's up there, too. Longo.
Longo.
Paul's got
Longo's
a
up
dry
there.
sense of humor. Best dresser on the team.
Nice.
Matthias.
Man.
Charlotte, natural.
Oh my gosh.
Makes
All
sense.
right.
And
Christmas boy?
Romeo's from Charlotte. Matthias is
Makes
from
sense.
Charlotte. Worst dresser on the team.
Jerron Jones.
Jerron,
No,
for
it's
sure.
Nick Martin.
Oh, Nick Martin.
Nick
that too.
Martin, for sure.
I'm mad at you, and I'm mad at you. Really? Come on now.
Player on the team most likely to become a football coach.
Joe Schmidt, for sure.
Sam Bush.
Ooh, yeah.
The modern day guys.
Sam Bush.
Yeah, two modern
Sam
day
Bush.
guys, yeah.
I feel like I walked into the unit meeting room before the position.
I just got to
coach
speak
got
with
in
my
there.
colleagues.
Best thing about playing for Notre Dame, guys.
The fans.
Yeah.
The fans.
We'll close on that. Your Notre Dame defensive line, ladies and gentlemen. Coach Kelly's back up here right after this timeout. Welcome back to the Brian Kelly Radio Show here at O'Rourke's Public House. And we were talking again. I mean, those are the kinds of kids you come here to coach. I thought, again, they purported themselves very well in front of a big crowd.
Yeah, it's never easy to get on, the radio or even the TV for the first time. But they're all great kids, and they're used to being out in front. They're on TV a lot, and they're always on stage in one way or another, representing Notre Dame. But they're all great kids, and they all come from great families. And Jerron was talking a little bit about he wanted to get away from his mom, but there couldn't be a better mom out there. She's done a great job and raising. They actually have got a younger brother who's going to be up here this weekend, who's a young man that likes to play football as well. So we'll get a chance to take a look at him too.
Certainly, Jerron really wanted to do well because he was asking me to please show him the questions. I told him he didn't have to worry; they weren't that tough. Craig W., I think it's Kessler. I can't read your writing, but you're from Mishawaka. In addition to what we've already discussed, Coach, he wants to know what new faces are we likely to see on defense and offense this week? Is there anybody we haven't touched on already? There might be a new face.
Just Jay Hayes. Jay will play this week, and Matuska, will play and get more playing time. So those two guys you'll see definitely on the defensive side of the ball.
Beth from Houston is disappointed there's no show next week, and she has a USC question, but it's a travel question, so I think we can ask that. She'd like to know, since there's no show next week, with no classes on Wednesday, will the team leave for L.A. on Tuesday night to have extra days to acclimate to the warmer weather? Also, does the team dine on the traditional Thanksgiving fare on Thursday?
Sounds like a great idea. I'm leaving on Tuesday. But I can't because we got to practice. So, no, we'll be here. We do change our schedule up, though, on Wednesday. So we practice a little bit earlier on Wednesday. And Thursday we practice in the morning. And then we have a Thanksgiving Day dinner for the guys. And then we release them, and then they've got to be back by 9 p.m. And then we leave fairly early on Friday morning.
Now, there have been past regimes that have gone out on Thursday or whatnot, but I know you really wanted to keep it the same routine that you always have.
Yeah, we feel like, even looking at the Arizona State game, the time travel and the difference in time is not really a big deal. And we won't know until Monday whether that's going to be a night game or an afternoon game. If we take care of business on our end and USC wins, that'll most likely be a night game. So, that time difference really doesn't make much difference to us.
Judy's here from Granger, and this is a question a lot of people asked. Was Kyle Brinza hurt on the Northwestern roughing penalty? After watching the tape, it seemed as though he had not as much oomph or follow-through after that.
Yeah, he was scooping the ball on his kickoff. He was just a little bit off, and was kicking under the ball a little bit. He was just a little bit off, and I think it was the only day that he's had since he's been here where, he was affected a little bit by the change of circumstances out there. And like I said, he fought through that, and this week had a great week, and I expect him to have a great Saturday.
We have one more break to take. When we come back, we'll talk all things Louisville on the Brian Kelly Radio Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House.
You're listening to the Brian Kelly Radio Show. Right now, the coaching staff isn't thinking about where to buy their next set of tires. But if they were, all they'd need to know is TireRack.com. They stock over 1 million tires and can have yours shipped to a trusted, independent, recommended installer in as little as 1 business day. But the coaching staff's not thinking about tires. They're thinking, how should we attack the cover two when the defense brings us safety into the box? TireRack.com. Find, deliver, install.
At Great Clips, we think great is simple, so today we have one simple message. Here goes. Use Great Clips online check-in to save time on your haircut. And to make sure this message can withstand any distraction, say it while holding this dynamite.
Use Great Clips online check-in to save time on your haircut.
You see, simple is effective. Let's try it again. Release the Headless Horseman!
Who? What? Use Great Clips online check-in to save time on your haircut. You're not even real. Come on!
Download our free app or visit GreatClips.com. No more waiting around because now we'll be waiting for you. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
St. Joseph Regional Medical Center is one of the most wired hospitals in the country. You might be asking, why adopt all this new technology well before other hospitals do? Because it helps our doctors and nurses provide a higher level of care. Because it keeps our patients safer. Because it's what we're called to do. That's why.
Join us at O'Rourke's Public House, home of the Brian Kelly Radio Show, to cheer on the Fighting Irish before, during, and after all home games. O'Rourke's Irish Decor, delicious menu items, and wide variety of beer selections are sure to enhance your game day experience. Bloody Mary Bar and Breakfast starting at 8 a.m. on all home game days. And O'Rourke's is the official Notre Dame game watch site for all away football games, featuring raffles and promotional prizes. Enjoy watching the game on one of O'Rourke's 15 TVs, including a 92-inch projector screen. O'Rourke's Public House is located directly across from Notre Dame's football stadium at the corner of Angela and Eddy Street in the Eddy Commons Center.
Welcome back to the Brian Kelly Radio Show. Since this is our last show, there's lots of people we want to quickly thank. Of course, WSBT 960 AM, 96.1 FM, WXNT CBS Sports Radio in Indianapolis, WJRW News Talk 1340 in Grand Rapids, KVCE 1160 AM in Dallas-Fort Worth. Boy, Cam McDaniel's popular down there.
He is.
And KASR 92.7 FM, Conway, Little Rock. And, of course, everybody who watches on Watch ND, want to thank our radio engineer, Bob Henning, over there in the Plaid, Nathan Bush, and his whole staff, Nate Steele doing the work here tonight. You're filling in tonight. I mean, you mentioned the starting quarterback as well, Nate. But for all that they do to stream this, you can watch the video archive. And, of course, we want to thank O'Rourke's. They give us a great venue for this show. And, in fact, Coach, they want to thank you. After the show tonight, they're going to present you with a check for $500 for the Kelly Cares Foundation.
Thank you, O'Rourke's. Really appreciate that.
And most of all, folks, want to thank you. This show, I caught it driving in last Saturday morning, and it just sounds so great because you provide such a great atmosphere, and we appreciate your coming out each and every week, both the regulars and the folks from out of town. I know it's a big game when people actually want to interview me, and I was on the Bob Valvano show in Louisville today. It's the first time Louisville's ever played Notre Dame, first time in Notre Dame Stadium, and surprise, surprise, he just talked about how fired up everybody in Louisville is and what a big game it is to them to come to fabled Notre Dame Stadium.
Yeah, it's the way it is every week, and we know that. But it's a big game for us, and it's an important game for us in terms of, getting the game played the right way and the way we want to play it. And it's important for the way we want our season to finish. And, as I told our team today, it's how you respond to adversity is the real measure of the 14 season. So how we want this season to go is about how we respond, and I think we'll respond very well.
Now, Everett a little bit sore, but he's going to be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine. I mean, again, I think the normal bumps and bruises of a quarterback at this time of the season, nothing to be too concerned. He's got to go out and lead us, take care of the football, and make things happen on the offensive side of the ball.
Playoff committee the other night ranked Louisville the 24th best team in the country. I think most diehard football fans saw them play Florida State, and you saw a very athletic football team on both sides of the football.
Very good defensively. They lead the country in interceptions. Very aggressive, outstanding offensively in the way they're conceived. Coach Petrino's a great coach offensively, one of the best, play callers. So they'll be a handful, but we'll be up for the challenge.
You spend a lot of time as a staff scouting the opposition and coming up with a game plan for that opposition. And throughout your career, you've been brilliant at putting together offensive game plans to exploit an opponent's weakness. But what it really gets down to, that's important. But the majority of your prep every week is about you and getting your team to play as well as it can.
Yeah, I think really, you're definitely got to know your opponent and the strengths and the weaknesses of your opponent. But I think more than anything, I think my success has been knowing what our strengths are and, making sure that we understand that any of our weaknesses have to be improved upon. And I think if you look at our play over the last few weeks offensively, it's been simply, minimizing the mistakes. We gave up 2 touchdowns and a couple of field goals, or we scored 60 points against a pretty good Northwestern defense. So, when you're talking in those terms, you're doing okay offensively if you just take care of the football.
You have always embraced the responsibility that you have to do these kinds of things, but I know this audience, everybody listening wants to thank you. I want to thank you for the effort you bring to this show every week.
Wow, my pleasure. It's a great opportunity. Thank you.
And one more thank you. Jacob Flint on the strength and conditioning staff, his 3 lovely daughters.
And his lovely wife.
There's 4? There's 3. That's what I thought.
Well,
they're
that's his daughter too, right?
They're giving you extra kids.
That's his oldest daughter right there. Beautiful wife.
They never miss a show.
No, they haven't missed a show since Central Michigan. So actually this would be probably, I'm going to have to say, the 11th consecutive year that they haven't missed one of my shows. So right here in the front, that's why they get front row every single show right there.
Jacob, thank you. We are off until Mike Bray takes coach's seat on December 11th. Good night, everybody, and go Irish.